I can't really take this lesson. I need some sleep. So, good night. Is that how you also talk about going off to sleep? So boring. Everyone says the same thing. I'm going to sleep, good night. That's really boring, and there are so many different and much better ways when you want to say, I need some sleep. So I'm going to make your life much more interesting now with different ways. Stay tuned with me, Sonia. Make sure you watch this lesson so you learn better words. The very first thing you could say is, take a nap, alright? So what does it mean when you say take a nap? A nap is basically a very short period of sleep. Okay? So say for example, you've been at home all day but you've been working. And you're really tired, but you still have some more work to do. So what can you do? You can take a short nap, a brief period of sleep just for maybe say half an hour. So you feel fresh, you're rejuvenated, and then you can continue with your work. So maybe in an example you could say, I'm sure if I take a quick nap, I will feel really fresh. You could also say, call it a night, okay? So what do I mean by this? Call it a night. This is basically a phrase you would use when, say, you're done for the day. You've finished work, you've reached home, and you've done whatever you had to do, you've finished eating, all your errands are over, and now you really just need to go off to sleep. So then you could use this phrase, call it a night. Or maybe you are at a party. The party's been amazing, you've had loads of fun, you've danced your heart out, and now you're really tired. Even then you could use this phrase which says, call it a night. So basically, it is to finish every work and go off to sleep. If you want to use it in a sentence, you could say, well, the party was amazing, but I'm really tired now and I think I need to call it a night. The next one here, okay, this is interesting. Sounds a little violent, but it isn't. It says, hit the snack, hit the sack. Are you talking about hitting or punching something? No, you're not going to hit or punch any sack. What it means is that you are extremely tired. You know, sometimes there are these days when you've really worked hard, you've stretched your hours at work. Maybe you were at work for 15 hours at a stretch. You've not eaten well, you're extremely exhausted, and all you can think about is a bed and how you're going to crash on that bed the moment you reach home. So that's when you can do something like hit the sack. Okay, so that's when you're extremely sleepy, okay, and you need to go to sleep like almost instantly. So in a sentence you could say, well, I have worked really long hours today, and I'm going to hit the sack as soon as I reach home. The next one here, it says, get some shut-eye. Now, what do I mean when I say shut? Shut means to close something. So it means to close your eyes and go to sleep. But just for a short period. We'll say if you've been studying for many hours, maybe if you're a student and your exams are, going to come in the recent future. So you've been studying for many hours at a stretch. What do you need to do then? Take a quick break maybe and get some shut-eye. So it means to sleep for a short period. It's a very casual phrase. And it sounds really smart too. So maybe in a sentence you could say, I've been studying for hours and I really need to get some shut-eye. The next one, and I like this personally, it says, snooze for a while. I'm sure you must have heard the word snooze earlier. We use it a lot for alarms, right? Like I'm one of those people, I keep an alarm for say 8 a.m. and as soon as the alarm rings, I keep snoozing it for 5 or for 10 minutes because I need some extra sleep. But here when I say snooze for a while, it means that I need to sleep for just a little time, just to be able to get back up on my feet, alright? So snooze for a while also means to sleep for some time, just a short period of time. So say maybe you are on a road trip with your friends and you've been driving continuously for maybe say 4 hours and now you're really tired. You can feel that you may just go off to sleep at any point in time. So what do you need to do? You need to snooze for a while. So maybe you can tell your friend, well, hey, I'm really tired driving, so why don't you take over the wheel and I will just snooze for a while so I feel fresh. The next one, and this happens to a lot of us. It says, doze off. What do you mean by doze off? It's something like, you're just sitting and then suddenly you just like fall off to sleep. Has it happened to you? If maybe you're attending a seminar or maybe even a lecture at college, which was like really boring, all right? And you're sitting somewhere at the rear part of the class, no one was watching you, and while sitting straight, you just suddenly like dozed off. So this means to just sleep immediately. Alright, that's what it means to doze off. So maybe in a sentence you could say, well, the lecture in college was so boring today that I just dozed off. I didn't know what happened post that. And finally, this is a nice one. It says, take a siesta. Alright, now what does siesta mean? This is basically a short, brief period of sleep that you take after your afternoon meal. It's a word that's mostly used in Spain and also in certain Latin American countries. So it's quite a way where people tend to just sleep for maybe an hour or so after their afternoon meal and relax, feel all fresh and then get back to their work later on. So it's basically sleeping for some time after, say, your noon meal. Okay. So in a sentence you could say, well, I love taking a siesta once in a while. It just helps me to feel much more fresh and active later on. So guys, this is how you can say, I need some sleep in so many different ways. Look at them, they're so interesting. Why do we want to use the same old boring words, alright? So make sure that you practice these phrases, use them wherever you can in your day-to-day conversation. I'll be back soon with something much more interesting. Till then, you take care. Bye-bye.